Dion. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. I apologize for being late. I rebooted my Wi-Fi and then I forgot to plug it back in, and then I had to wait. I'm a slave to technology. How's it going? Did you get through the week okay? What's new? Fill me in. Let me know you're here and that my Wi-Fi is working. It's been an interesting week. I'll just wait till somebody says hello in the chat to make sure that everything's working. Let me know if you can see Betty Bunny. Okay, cool. Because I have a different purview here than you do. All good, you can see Betty and Benny Bunny, our mascots for democracy. Good, good, good. Did anybody have a weird week? I have to move. Yeah, I have to move. Let me talk about what's going on in Gloucester, Massachusetts. Shall I let you know what's going on in Gloucester, Massachusetts? Can you see all of Betty? Because she's cut off from my view. I live in a place that became famous, gosh, way, way back, before my time. I'll just be brief about this, but I think a lot of you can relate to it. There was a movie called Captain Courageous with Spencer Tracy. It was like a black and white movie, and I actually wrote a song that was inspired by that movie. And we'll talk about that later. But then we had, in 1991, about a month after I left to move to Nashville in 1991, the perfect storm came. And several years later, Sebastian Junger wrote The Perfect Storm. And then Hollywood got wind of it, and they loved the story. It was a true story, and it was really tragic. Another boat lost at sea. So Sebastian Junger put Gloucester, Mass. On the map. Prior to that, we had been kind of obscure, kind of like living in a rural community where everyone knows everybody, and we don't really, venture outside that much. And in this case, it's a lot of people that never went over the bridge. And then there was another movie called Coda, which won like a whole bunch of Oscars, and I did not even see the movie, but that was filmed here. Cher was in a movie that was filmed here called Mermaids. Dustin Hoffman was here in a movie called Moonlight Mile, and there was a scene of him up on the hill, like where I grew up, and like my favorite view of the city. My point is that Gloucester, where I live, has become quite famous and very sought after for people to come and live here. And I know 3 people off the top of my head, just as of recently, that got 30 days notice to vacate where they lived for years and years. Because some developer or some greedy person that owned the property was just like, I can make, exponentially more money on this, so you're out of here. Yeah, with Cher. You saw that movie? That was, and it wasn't, I only reeled off a few movies. So this area has become so sought after to live in that nobody's thinking about sea level rise or climate change or resources like water that we could run out of. Nobody's thinking of that. Recently, there was a pizza place a little ways from here that burned down, and they built condominiums in the place of it, not far from a beach, but just apartments. They go for $700,000 for a condo. That's the size of an apartment. And then there's are you having an Italian festival too? So anyway, I'll be brief. I know I'm not being brief, but I think you all can relate to this. $700,000 for a condo that's basically an apartment. The building that I'm in was built in the late 1800s, and I knew it was just a matter of time. So yesterday, I saw the landlady. She kind of pulled me aside and said, got to talk about this. You need to leave by, September. Because the building that I'm in is being converted into condominiums. And the condominiums will go for, I swear to you, about $1 million a piece. Yeah, okay, so that's why I'm telling you about it, because I know you can relate. I don't want to be talking to you about something you cannot relate to. How big are the apartments? Probably, just a normal size. They're not apartments. They call them condominiums. And then they charge like $700,000. So what's happening, and I know the ones that will be built in this building are going to be worth more than that. So what's happening is the people that grew up here, like myself, the people that are natives, like my mom was born here, right by the beach, down the street, I mentioned that before, the fishing community, the immigrant, like Sicilian, Portuguese families, Irish families, all of the culture that we were really like so charming and so everyone was so interested, it's such an interesting place, is going because they're getting us out of town. We cannot afford to live here. And that's what's happening. And it's not just happening here. And I was talking to somebody earlier who mentioned it will be retirees that buy the condos because we don't have a younger generation that's like the yuppies of the 80s. Because people cannot make the kind of money that they used to. Well, then there was a .com. So I've had to, fortunately for me, my landlady used to be a landlord, but is trans. Very, 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 very sweet person. And really wanted to give me first choice of, there's another office in a building that she owns. Down the street, not on Main Street, but just down the street a ways, not far from where I am. That I showed you, 3rd floor, lots of stairs to climb to get up there. I'm not concerned about that. I may be able to have people come to Church of Spirituality in person while I live stream, so there are some possibilities. It's a lot bigger, it's a lot more expensive. But that's what happened. But it's not like over the top because this is not, my landlady is not greedy. It's just that, somebody wants to buy the building. Can anybody relate to what I'm saying? Has that happened to you in your town? Yeah. Oh, so your small town on Lake Michigan's west side, which is where I was actually born. Because my dad is actually from there. If it's by a body of water, everyone wants to be there. But for us, the bittersweet, becoming famous because it's so beautiful here, the Hollywood one, was making all these movies here, it didn't work in the natives' favor. There was a ball field that was dedicated to a World War I veteran that they came in, they just decided they needed to develop a brand new school. If you ask the psychic, schools are a thing of the past. $1 million smart homes. Wow. Yeah. Where are you, Joanne? Yeah. So it's happening everywhere, and we're being booted out. So it just happened to my sister. Anyway, so that ball field that people have been playing in for decades. That was an active place. They played softball there. A lot of women's softball teams. They plowed over the whole entire baseball field. They didn't give a rat's ass about that it was dedicated as a memorial ballpark, as a memorial to a Vietnam veteran here. So the lack, Muskegon, Michigan. That's where I was born. Well, you always need to buy a sticker to park at the beach here. Oh, Cheryl, don't even get me started about what's happening in Maine. They literally blast through piles of rock ledge to build a development. They just dynamite. So, that's the deal. I'll have a new location in September. And I can't even, you know how I am, I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've fought it. Money talks louder. It's a bummer. I'm fortunate that there's another place that I can go to, and I live in a situation where I don't have to pay, you know, thousands of dollars for rent per month. I had predicted in the past, maybe the past, you know, like 2 years ago, I had predicted, and I think we're going to see this. This is the kind of situation that I have. We're going to see, Betty, is that progress? Because I don't call that progress. I mean, yeah, just blasting through. I a few years ago predicted that we're going to come into a time that, you know, there's a good side and a bad side. We're going to come into a time where people cannot afford to live in isolation anymore. What will happen with the schools? Let's look at what's going to happen to the malls. What's happened to shopping malls? That's what's going to happen to the schools. So there's not even any forward thinking. No more bottle drops. There'll be no more bottle drops. There will be seagulls. If you saw my video yesterday, there will be seagulls. Maybe not as close. $500,000 condos? More than that. Well, maybe where you are. Betty's saying it'll be okay, but it hasn't been. It hasn't been. And Texas, you know, somebody, Darren's bringing up Texas. In Texas, Elon Musk bought acres and acres and acres of farmland to build, gosh, I don't know. Do you guys know what Elon Musk was gonna buy in Texas? Anyone out there in Texas? The locals get pushed out. It becomes too expensive to live in their homes, and it happened to Austin, Texas. Yep, exactly. And it feels personal. It does feel personal. Joanne, where are you? Nothing under 1 million? My best friend yesterday, she was like, don't you want to go buy a house? I'm like, do you know? Anyway, I want to talk about AI. Elon wanted to build a car plant in Texas. Is that what it was? Because he bought up acres and acres and acres. The Nazi that bought land in Maine for a compound? No, I did not see that. That's horrifying. Thank you for being a member, Christine. Elon is going to buy the whole state of Texas. This is what happens when... We're going to talk about AI tonight. This is what happens when we are a civilization where all that matters is that you have the most money. The one with the most gold wins. I don't know what they win. Do you think Elon Musk is at peace? I don't know. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read on this. I'm going to read on the prevalence of greed. You know, you can't take it with you when you go, right? I mean, and honestly, think about it. Aren't the times that you have had the most fun, taking a little survey, aren't the times that you have had the most fun been like just simple, belly laughing with a friend, going out for an ice cream, hanging out with your family family members that you like, you know, going, like I went to that carnival at Old Orchard Beach in Maine, you know, things like that. The simple things when you think about it. Oh, Chuck's back with the quotes. Thanks. Good to see you back. It's hard for me to read the whole thing, but check it out. I cannot think of a time when I had a really lot of fun that was, you know, where there was a lot of money involved, ever. So I'm going to pick 3 cards, and I wonder if this is going to go the same way that I see AI going. where people start to live because of being pushed to the limit, financially not able to afford mortgages or rent. We will be forced to live together, a bunch of people in one house, and that we'll have to learn how to get along. Right? We'll have to learn how to get along. So this greed is gonna push people into like, you know what, give me the simple life. I have a song by that title too, actually. Give me the simple life. The one I wrote about Gloucester is called The Sailor. Anyway, and I'm playing a concert on Sunday. I want to tell you about that. I'm going to do it's a short one, but I'll live stream it. Just like this is going to push us into living more in community because that's the only thing that's affordable. I really feel, different topic but related, the AI is going to push us more into, we want to live close to the earth as real humans, as real like animal human beings that we are in a civilized way. We don't want this AI. Yeah, like with the old boarding houses where you had your own room but shared everything else. That's the way I like to live. So get ready for that. AI is going to make people crave human emotion and human touch and human connectivity. What they're working for right now, they're still stripping the land for coal. Are they still stripping the land for coal in West Virginia? I guess with Joe Manchin they would be. Right now what they're working on with AI is to give robots emotions. I want to warn you guys about what's coming with AI. We're already under surveillance. It's going to be more and more and more and more and more. And what's coming is that we will be unable to distinguish between what's real and what's AI. I know you've heard this, but that's what's going on. Everything that humans can do, a robot will be able to do, which could lead to an existential crisis for most people. And I really do want to talk about that. Whoever got paid for food for everyone, someone's talking about their dad living in a boarding house when he was young. It teaches people how to relate to one another. You know, it's not a bad thing. I'm going to start first with a question. I know we got plenty of news to get to, but this is news too. I'm going to start with the basic question. Will humans move away from this bottomless pit greed where nothing is ever enough and it's completely heartless and soulless? Not for me necessarily. The situation here with me having to move is different. I can totally understand. This situation was untenable. But where people don't care who they're kicking out because they're that greedy, is that going to shift? Is that going to shift? The people will raise up? Well, what I'm asking for is whether the greed is going to shift. I mean, people don't like to talk about how much money they make or how much they have, right? Because that's a taboo topic. Because people are literally, in general, people literally place their sense of self and value on how much money they have or don't have. Right? Thank you, Terry, for posting the question that I'm asking. Noam Chomsky. Yeah, good quote there. But we will, I'm going to watch The Matrix again. I am. It will be painful at first. Yeah, people can't afford apartments, let alone buy a home. In general. I'm going to read what Betty Green is saying. Hi, Annette. Back when Nikola Tesla passed on, one of Trump's relatives stole boxes of Tesla's experiments. You learned that Trump's dad made only say positive statements about Trump, the key to life. I talked about that the other night. Fred Trump had Don read The Power of Positive Thinking to the point of like brainwashing. It's a good book, but you shouldn't use it for that. Anyway, the greed. We will continue to suffer from the greed, the insatiable greed. Somebody brought up West Virginia, and I mentioned, Joe Manchin is pro coal, and Joe Manchin is completely, he falls into this category. No, Jack Smith is not going to be Attorney General. Warren, pay attention. Anyway, so the Queen of Wands. Well, hang on a second. Okay. The Six of Wands, the Six of Swords. It's going to be a balancing act, and Manchin wants to run for president. He's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. He's just like, if you want like the personification, the textbook example of what I'm talking about, the insatiable greed of Joe Manchin. Does that man really derive his happiness from his things? Maybe. But he doesn't know anything else. Manchin equals greed. So it looks like a balancing act. It looks like the wealthy people the very wealthy will start to feel, I'm grossly generalizing, start to see the not so wealthy people doing better. I'm talking about the United States right now. With Joe Biden's infrastructure bill and all the jobs that he's creating, this is interesting. It feels like, and they're good jobs, the ultra wealthy get to see the people that are finally getting a living wage, that they're doing okay. And then it gets to be less appealing for them to be super wealthy. Somebody's mentioned in the 1970s up there. It's kind of like that. I do feel the time coming when we're going to wax all nostalgic for when we had community, when we had communication with one another, when we had, like, I don't like to live alone because I like to say good morning to someone, you know what I mean? We're going to start to wax nostalgic, especially on the AI topic. The Queen of Wands, the arts being created by humans, and an AI can do art too. The Rockefeller family is giving up investing in fossil fuels, and yeah, I heard about that. That's good. That's good. Joe Manchin does nothing for this country. I want you to know, in a nutshell, I'm reading, so I know I go off on a big tangent, because I kind of read that way. And then I put it all together into one simple sentence. People will, after this phase, it's kind of like a trend. And trends end. You grew up in your grandmother's house and you all live together. I bet you have great memories, Cheryl. This is like a trend. I'm trying to stay on one topic and Warren keeps popping questions up. Which are all questions I've already answered, but I'll go over them again. Because things do shift and change. I do see a time where this gets to be like, wait. And it's the older generations starting to talk about what it was. I don't mean in an annoying way. I mean in a retro kind of way, like before technology, we used to do this. I feel that being more highlighted, and I feel that being more highlighted in the media and being more appealing. I'm thinking about when, like say, bell bottoms went a little out of style, and then they came back and they were like, they were kind of hip to have. Or for that matter, you know, jeans that you used to have to break in, and now you'd buy them like all worn and, you know, ripped and stuff. Kind of like that. There's a nostalgia. If we don't buy into AI, maybe it'll go the way of the pet rock. Well, it won't do that. But people might start craving pet rocks. I have tons of pet rocks. This is a pet rock. This is a pet rock. You remember bell bottoms, Warren? Well, they never really went out. They kind of came back. The other question I want to ask is about AI. I mean, and every time I see a video about AI, and I encourage you, you think, okay, so somebody agrees with me, because I do feel that people are going to start to crave what we used to do. I feel like we're peaking out a little bit on this. Okay, we've all have had phones attached to us for what, a couple decades now? I'd say a couple decades. I feel like there will be a trend. By the way, if you're looking at your phone all the time, it's really bad for your spine, for your cervical neck vertebrae. I think it's going to change. I think it's going to change because as things, you know that line from that Joni Mitchell song, Big Yellow Taxi? Don't it always seem to go, you don't know what you've got till it's gone? That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing people, we won't be able to avoid being under surveillance. We won't be able to avoid being tracked. But you can shut off the location on your phone if you want to avoid that to a certain degree. You won't be able to avoid being, you know, if you have a phone, you won't be able to avoid your phone logging everything that you do, right? But you will be able to go to, like, have a retro party, right? If people started having retro parties, and I do feel that. I have my fake beer tonight, which is really good. I do feel like we'll see the Gen X trending back. There are a lot of Amish and Mennonite families in Western Maryland. Yeah, people will start admiring, maybe not to, they won't want to be a Mennonite, but they might watch over the next year as AI becomes more prevalent. Okay, and the other question I'm going to ask, the first was about greed. Will greed supersede everything? No, it's going to phase out. Like the yuppies in the 80s kind of phased out. And now I'm going to read on AI. How it's going to affect us. I encourage you to watch YouTube videos about AI. Because I don't know if everybody's aware of this. Maybe we can take an informal survey. Do you know that they have robots that look exactly like humans? Betty wants robots that look just like humans. I don't understand what you can't wait. You don't have to wait, Betty. It's already here. Oh, you have Earth shoes? It's already here. So Betty, just because we have a party and we're hanging out, what is it that you love about AI? I'm curious. There's a lot that's going to be held secret. There's a lot going on that we don't know about with AI. That's why I'm asking you, I'm sort of taking an informal survey. I'm not talking about the internet. Betty, I'm not talking about the internet. I'm talking about, I could be in this room and a robot would come to the door and I couldn't tell because they even have hair now. They have hair, they have legs, they have eyes. They look like humans. And they speak like humans. They're still a little bit, I'm not talking about Alexa. I'm talking about it has a higher intelligence than you. Yeah, be grateful. I know it's true because I know when I hear an AI, the AI voices are starting to show up. Elon Musk is a hybrid. Joanne. What's starting to happen, you might not recognize it, but when you go and you listen, when you put on a YouTube video, depending on what it is, you can tell when it's an AI bot that's speaking. Can you guys tell? It's happening. It's definitely happening now. And it's not 15 to 20 years away. Try to keep up. It's not 15, it's now. It's now. Oh, thank you to the new members for being here. It has arrived. I guess that's what I am on my soapbox about, is I don't think the general population has any idea. You've never seen a robot? I picked the High Priestess card, and that meant there are a lot of things we don't know, and then I put the other two cards back in the deck. So let's see what else comes up. I need my glasses. Please hit the thumbs up if you can. Okay, how much do they cost? Well, they're mostly coming out of China. I have Roomba. Think Roomba times 1 trillion. India has AI reporters on TV, and China has AI reporters on TV. What they did, it's basically a clone. Betty has a lot of enthusiasm and wants to have as much AI as possible. We're all different. But the High Priestess indicated there's a lot of secrets that are being kept. Well, that's what a secret is. It's being kept. Yeah. Yeah, the intonation is off a little bit, but it's going to be not very long before they fix that too. Yeah, Betty, you're way more optimistic than I am. But, you know, that's okay. You bet Putin has an AI drone? Like the other day I was making a video and there was a drone like hovering over me. We don't want the way that it is right now, they're trying to make the robots as close to human as possible. I did mention that. It's going to be challenging. Yeah, we can disagree, Betty. I'm looking for the silver lining. I don't see the silver lining. It's going to replace us in many ways. Yeah. So, who's Commander Data? Is that you mean from Star Trek? We're just talking about it. Is a drone an AI? Well, a drone is not an AI, but a drone is, you know, it has those components. And that's the way it is in terms of what's going on. Nothing will replace Annette Dion. Nothing will replace Warren either. No way. And your phone does read your mind. They have that technology. I'm going to read on, the data is being collected all the time. Yeah, and AI can impersonate presidents. AI can impersonate. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read, will there be international laws that we can agree on? Let me do this. You won't know what's real and what's AI. That's when they improve the technology. In 10 years, you won't be able to tell. They have the capacity to replace us. Will it be a problem? Welcome to the new people. Will it be a problem in our? Will it be a? It will be a problem. Will international leaders come to agreements with laws about AI? It does look like there will be international laws about the use of AI. I see people being put in place to kind of monitor it. You know, like having like that being a position, you could have a job as an AI monitor. So, Warren, are you saying that I broke the mold? I'm going to pull 3 cards about whether it's going to be used. Now I just want to mention one other thing. That it was used in the 2016 election. And then I think Putin was too caught up in the war to really get fully into using it again. Entertainment purposes only. I'm going to pull 3 cards about whether it's going to be an issue in the 2024 election, the use of AI. No Damon tonight? He might show up. They won't eat food, just electricity and batteries. Now, I want to mention one thing that would be beneficial. One thing that I want to mention that would be beneficial is AI has the ability to fix global climate change. Please hit the thumbs up. We could put Trump in jail and let his AI walk free. It wouldn't take that much intelligence. As far as the next election, yeah, okay. I do feel like laws will be put in place about the election. Since robots are taking over, you can chill then. Well, since robots are taking over, we're going to have to, they will be able to do. I heard 1 in 5 people will lose their jobs. But the positive is, there's one positive thing. AI is so intelligent, it can fix global climate change. It can. Let me double check the pendulum on that. Does AI offer solutions to the climate crisis? I mean, real solutions, like technology, like device. Yeah. It does have the, and that's a strong yes. So there's no turning back. I mean, and we do need to fix global climate change. There will be laws in place for the next election. What do I see in regards to AI soldiers? Well, what I'm reading on, or what I just read on, was that there will be international laws put in place. So, for the, regarding the use of AI. So that answers the question about AI soldiers. There will be laws, like international. I guess there's laws about you can commit war crimes, or so there's laws in war. I know it's bizarre to think about. But as far as the next election, it looks like guidelines will be put in place. Laws will be put in place. People need jobs. I know, it's going to be an existential crisis. And you won't need school teachers in schools. Okay, so the universe, yeah, we don't worry about the next election. I feel like we're going to be okay in terms of the use or misuse of AI. I get that we'll be okay. I am blabbering tonight. I'm aware of that. Sometimes we just have to blab. Yeah, there's lots of unforeseen consequences. Biden will win in 2024. I feel like we're gonna be good. Okay. correct. You know, that's what our thing is. You know, our PNN nights it's a little party. Thank you, Betty. You're so sweet. It's a little party. We talk about things. Tell me what you want to talk about. I know Warren's already put a few questions up. Jobs will shift, but new opportunities will arise. I know, but we have to figure out where the opportunities would be. Like for me, thank you, Linda. For me, I just said to somebody yesterday, I think my job is safe because I don't think AI can do psychic readings, but it kind of can. You kind of can get like a tarot reading online. Electric Storm, I'm going to give you the floor. Thank you, Lois. I'm giving Electric Storm the floor. They're working on feelings for AI. I'm waiting for Electric Storm what she needs. We're just talking about what's happening. Yeah. Boy, Hunter Biden. I want to start with Fanni Willis. Oh, thank you, Kathy. You're sweet. I'm going to start with Fanni Willis, how things are going there in Georgia. We have to talk about everything, right? We have to talk about everything. All right, how you guys, okay. We're just talking. The moon is in Cancer. The moon just went into Cancer. So people are kind of emotional. Okay. Funny. Well, this honestly, I'm reading about Fanni Willis in Georgia. The answer couldn't be more clear. Here's Trump the fool. Here's the death card. He's done. And here's Fanni and all the work that she's done and all the evidence against Trump, all the very clear, concise evidence. Oh, and Fanni was going to add another count against Trump for spreading an absolute lie. Racist, freaking crazy lie. He's off the rails. Trump is off the rails. That he made up a story about her going out with a gang member, right? I won't even get into it. Next Tuesday. My pendulum said indictments are in the air, and they said Tuesday, and I really thought it was last Tuesday, and it might have. Let's just ask the pendulum. Was it supposed to be last Tuesday? Was it supposed to be last Tuesday? No, it's just that indictments were in the air. And then, so when you think about how many slimy people are around Trump, I mean, that's just the ilk that they are. They're so bottom of the barrel. But the fool is Trump. The death card is he's done. He's finished in Georgia. He is finished. I am having tea tonight. I'm having tea and I'm having fake beer. I can do a little commercial. I don't drink anymore, but I love the taste of a good IPA. You think something happened on Tuesday? Yeah, I do too. And I discovered this athletic brewing company. Really good. And the tea is Earl Grey, so we're having tea with an IPA. Indictments are in the air. Yeah, we can write a little song about it. The grand jury didn't get the papers until this week, so you knew it wasn't going to be Tuesday, but I definitely got Tuesday. Yeah, be grateful. That's what I was saying. I want to endorse it because when you quit drinking, you kind of miss the taste of things, and this is really good. I found it Misfits Market, which delivers my groceries. Aw, Kathy, your cat's watching? I just quit. It just got to a point where I was like, oh, this is boring. Drinking got boring, but I love the taste of a good IPA. So Trump is done. Trump is done in Georgia. He's done. He's finished. Thank you, Paula Ann. That is exactly my feeling. And everyone is welcome here. And I think it's really important that we all feel comfortable just talking. I think it's really... Is it near? Yes, it's near. Anne retracted her message. It's near. It's next week. Fanni Willis is an AI beer. No, it's IPA. He can't be pardoned either. Maybe Fanni has a good astrologer. Well, let's ask. Does Fanni Willis have a good astrologer? It's fake beer, but it's good beer. I mean, it doesn't have alcohol. Fanni's doing just fine. This is it. Is this it for Trump? Is he really 100% guilty? And that's what I got last week. No, he can't. No, Brian Kemp cannot pardon Trump. No, I do not get that at all. Do you guys agree with me that we have to be able to talk about things, whatever, in general? The moon is in Cancer, so that means that people are really sensitive. This isn't ginger beer. Oh. It's called Athletic Brew. Athletic Brewing Company. I should advertise for them and make some money. Yeah, even if we don't agree, it's fine. We're good. Right? We're good. Do you remember the days, speaking of waxing nostalgic, when we could just, remember Ruth Bader Ginsburg was really good friends with Scalia, and they were in complete disagreement about everything. And Ted Kennedy and Orrin Hatch completely disagreed about anything, but they were friends. Right? Okay, so, yeah, we're exchanging ideas, we're getting to know each other better, and there's a real strength in when you disagree with somebody, when you're still friends. If you can, like, yell at your best friend and be all mad, and then know that you still love each other, then that's great. Orrin Hatch cried at Teddy's funeral. Well, of course, they were friends. I'm sure Ruth Bader Ginsburg cried at Scalia's funeral. Hunter Biden. Look at how many things are coming back at the fascist GOP. Look at how many ways they've played it really stupid. And let that make you feel better. What's happening with Hunter Biden, it's really similar to when Merrick Garland found out that, Trump announced that he was running for president. I love, that's one of my favorite quotes, Chuck Hepner. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful-minded people can change the world. It's the only thing that ever did. So when Trump announced months and months ago he was running for president in 2024 because he wanted to be out of trouble, he might as well have just said it. Merrick Garland went ahead, and that was his cue to appoint a special counsel, so it didn't look like it was a political thing. So Jack Smith was at The Hague in the Netherlands, and after he recuperated from his Ironman triathlon injury, or maybe his training or whatever, he flew back to the States to take on the appointment of being special counsel because Trump announced that he was going to run for president. This is really similar. The GOP, the fascist GOP, were saying that, what's his name? Warren knows. The judge in Hunter Biden's case, was it Ware? Is his last name Ware? I think it is. Anyway, the Jim Jordans and the James Comers and the Class Dunts and all those blah blah blah. Remember yesterday? If you watched my video yesterday, I was reading on the GOP, and I said what they're going to do is they're going to start being really loud, and then the seagulls got really really loud in my video. what they're doing is they're so, and I just was speaking of it as like they're going to get so loud to cover up their fear, to cover up Weiss, thank you, Judge Weiss. So they got really loud and they're like, oh, well, you know, Judge Weiss, even though he was a Trump-appointed judge that was on the Hunter Biden case, of the barely any crimes committed case against Hunter Biden, it got flipped around. So the GOP was calling for, I think they were calling for a special counsel for Hunter Biden. So Weiss turns around and requests from Merrick Garland, can I be special counsel? And Merrick Garland said yes, because if he said no, it would have looked political. So it's backfiring, and now they're complaining about the Trump-appointed judge being now in charge of Hunter Biden again. They're rehashing the whole thing. It's gonna be okay. This happens in third world countries. This happens in dictatorships. They're taking a playbook out of the authoritarian playbook that they got from Viktor Orban and they got from the Kremlin for entertainment purposes only. But it's factual. So now they don't have the, fortunately for America, we have a strong foundation to our democracy. So now people are starting to look at the GOP going after Hunter Biden. The general public doesn't like this. They don't like this because he didn't do anything that measures up to the degree of severity that, say, Trump did. We're going to pull 3 cards. Yeah, they're making themselves, they have egg all over their faces and they don't care because they think they can get away with it. No, they're worried. I can't say really that they don't care. So what's going to happen for Hunter? People are going to actually rally around Hunter in a certain way. The lover card. Remember, when Bill Clinton was in those hearings that the Republicans went after Bill Clinton with the Monica Lewinsky impeachment trial, Bill Clinton's numbers went up. Yeah. So Chuck puts up a quote, the best defense against democracy is to distract people. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do. So, no worries, be grateful. So this Hunter Biden situation is going to end up, the hangman is the GOP is going to have, they don't have any evidence. It is the same thing as Benghazi, only Hunter never worked for the United States. We'll get to DeSantis. So the hangman is the GOP going, well, I don't know, well, maybe he did, the evidence isn't coming, we have a whistleblower, you know what they do. And the universe will, karma, the universe is going to take care of this. Garland has now built a wall between DOJ and the Biden and Hunter with the appointment of a special counsel. Does this end all the nonsense hearings and it will not end the nonsense hearings because the point of the nonsense hearings is to make a big distraction. Remember, when Trump, for 8 years now, whenever Trump was in trouble for something and continues to be that way, when he was in trouble for something, he would create a big hullabaloo about something else. Every single time. But the universe, everything will work out. So Hunter Biden, here were the crimes. Hunter Biden paid his taxes late, and so he had to pay penalties, and he paid them. And Hunter Biden, when he was under the influence, answered a question that, I guess they gave him a question before he could purchase a gun. I didn't know they did that. I hope they do. And he lied and said he wasn't under the influence of anything. So he got a gun when he had told a lie. That's it. And Trump incited a violent insurrection on the country that he swore an oath to protect, and he watched on TV with glee while people were being bludgeoned. And everyone was begging and begging for him to stop. A judge has declared that law unconstitutional. Right. Besides what the GOP is wanting to get Hunter for, the purchase of a gun. It's all, see how it's backfiring? It's all what they've been on their soapboxes about the whole time. Like, oh, don't take away our guns. We have a right to have guns. We don't need, background checks. We don't need to answer questions. That's the crime. Those are the two crimes. Yeah, so they really have nothing. Let's ask the pendulum. Does Hunter Biden just go free after this entire debacle? It's all up in the air. It's all up in the air. Okay, so let me ask a better question, because I said, does Hunter go free after all this debacle? Does Hunter plead guilty and have to serve jail time? No. The hypocrisy is mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Is Hunter Biden going to finally have peace and have his own life back? Yes, he will. I always get on Hunter that this is karmic, and it's not that. You don't have to feel like, oh, I was a bad person in the past life, so I have to suffer. Not like that. Just that this kind of a being positioned in this way, he's kind of being used as a pawn. Hunter is it's part. It just feels like an impression from a past lifetime too. Something similar happened to him in a past life. I really get that. Let's have some tea. So. I want to read on Joe Biden and how things are going for him. What kind of tea? That's Earl Grey. I bought it in Salem, and I was told that it's a really good tea leaves to read. I'm going back to Salem on Monday, so we'll see what goodies I can pick up. He never denied using drugs. I mean, it's all Hunter Biden. It's all there. There's nothing. It's all there. He confessed. He pled guilty. It should be over. So let's see how Biden is doing. I know there was an assassination attempt. Just send lots of white light to Biden, to the Biden administration. I mean, there are crazies out there that want to commit more crimes. But when we think about how many crimes the Trump family has committed, it's insane. I'm just talking about Hunter Biden. There's a lot of crazy people out there, but the fact that 2 of them have been shot dead by the FBI out of necessity because they were armed with AR-15s. The people that might do that may think twice. And if you think it's not a cult, it's a cult if you risk, it's kind of like a suicide bomber, right? So we're just going to read on Joe Biden. Joe Biden's doing amazing. And I love what they've done when the red states where the fascist GOP they voted against the infrastructure bill, they voted against anything that the Democrats wanted, they voted against it, and then they were like Tuberville was taking credit for the, I don't know, maybe it's a chips factory or something that's in Alabama now. And so what the Biden administration started doing, if you haven't seen this, it's great. There's a great big giant blue sign that says this infrastructure project was set in place by the Biden administration. Pretty cool, right? We need more of that. How's Biden doing? He's got like the same cards as Hunter. I said this yesterday, Joe Biden saw his life kind of flash before his eyes when the FBI told him, oh, Tuberville's a Russian asset. Yeah, I would definitely. He clearly Tuberville's a Russian asset. So as far as Biden, it looks like there's going to be the death card doesn't mean actual death. There's going to be a big shift in what goes on in his campaign. It's good. The Magician is coming up. It's going to feel like, wow. People are finally going, because the people are going to see what's right in front of their eyes. Their friends are getting good jobs. There are chips factories being built. The bridges and the roads are being fixed. I mean, there's going to be so much that's visible that this, not giving Biden credit, that's coming to an end. The hangman is, Americans are finally going to have to say, wow, well, things are pretty good, aren't they? Ducey and others on Fox, keep asking him the question. No wonder Biden is getting angry. Keep asking him what question. So yeah, there's an end to the insanity. The more that comes out about Trump, the more, like, what do they call them all the time? Kitchen table issues, as if everyone sits around the kitchen table and has dinner. Speaking of retro, I don't know if that's a thing anymore. But the kitchen table issues are what people are going to start to notice. Yes, the judge, Judge Chutkan, that turned out the way that I saw it originally, which was, I didn't see Trump going to jail. Chutkan wasn't going to send him to jail, but I saw rules imposed. So the rules today that she imposed were that he can't share sensitive information. I don't know what was said about him inciting violence, the stochastic terrorism. I'm going to pull 3 cards. I think I dropped a card. Oh, no, I dropped a little stone. That's okay. I'll get it later. So what I want to read on is what the judge actually said about the stochastic terrorism. We'll read about Fox, too. After Jack indicts Trump, he is going after the insurrectionist GOP. Yeah, I've read that. I definitely have read that. Yeah. So I saw Judge Chutkan laying down more strict laws about Trump. And I just want to read more about that. I don't know what she said about the stochastic terrorism. Right, define sensitive information. I have to watch the news a little bit more to see how that was defined. I think it was about information that, like, for instance, Trump is not supposed to, I can't even say can't, Trump is not supposed to reveal the names of the witnesses. And he already did that. That would be sensitive information. Aileen can and will be replaced. Didn't I already answer that, Warren? Not today, but I've answered that before. Oh, family members dying together. That's nice. Riding with Biden. Yeah. So, Judge Chutkan, let's see. Oh, interesting. She said that if he violates the rules, if Trump violates the rules, then the trial will be more speedy. Did you hear that? Yeah, Gloria just mentioned it. Guess what? I have the Chariot. That seems to look like a more speedy trial, more speedy than the speedy that it is. Trump is going to screw up. Well, it's not even screwing up. Trump is going to be like, I don't care. I do whatever I want. What's Darren saying that Gloria hopes she's right? Yeah, well, actually, Gloria is right because that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. So she said, you do it again, and we go to trial sooner. And I got the Chariot card. That is definitely what that means. He thinks when I think of Trump, I get this. I can do anything I want. And, she laid down the law, literally. He's gonna do an abundance of violations of that law. And there will be consequences. He can't help himself. He's a compulsive liar too. And he's a compulsive turner things around her. He turns everything backwards. I don't know what you would call that. I guess you would call that a manipulator, right? He turns everything around. Case in point, and I love that somebody said they should call, because I said I wanted to call Trump's social media platform Lie Social, and then someone, who was it? Absolute projection. Absolute projection. Nothing that he says is about the person he's saying it about. It's about you. No soup for you. I love it. Somebody said that we should call it, instead of Truth Social, call it Lies Antisocial. Liar Central. Yeah, it's not. There's nothing about it that's true. And the more stressed he gets, the more every single sentence, the more that stress Trump gets, the more that every single thing he says is telling you the crimes that he's committed and the heinous acts that he's done. Pay attention. Did you say that, Moonchild? Liars antisocial? Give credit where credit's due. It's getting, really pay attention. It was the Liar Central that got that old man killed. Yeah, because he was sucked in. His brain got taken over. And he had anger inside of him to do that. It's called projection. I know it's called projection, but I think we have to have another word for it, because it just goes beyond that. And it's getting more intense. If you really listen to Trump, there's got to be a stronger word than projector. It's a compulsive kind of thing. Oh, I didn't know you had two handles. Moonchild is also Dancing Warrior. Aha! This is about Trump. On the defensive. This is about Trump. On the defensive. His stuff lately is crazy, and he doesn't miss a beat with the projecting. He's a very sick mind. He's a very sick man. We need to save ourselves from him. When I prayed, I told you guys this before. One day I was kind of worried, and I said, "Dear God, save us from Trump." And then I heard, I already did. I already did. On January 6th. It's becoming very clear to Trump that the DOJ is 2,500 steps ahead of him, with a very clear focus, and I don't think he feels very strong. I feel him threatening more. I do feel him threatening more. And when I think about what he's thinking, what Trump is thinking, he wants another January 6th. That's what he's thinking. Remember when Cassidy Hutchinson said how angry Trump was that they wouldn't take away the metal detectors because he knew that there were arms coming? They were going to bring all these arms, all these rifles, all these weapons across the Potomac. The guy with the eye patch. That's what they plan to do. So when I think about Trump, I think about he's like fantasizing about the weapons. I'm going to pick 3 cards. I'm just saying he's fantasizing about the weapons, Electrostorm. That's all. That's what he's fantasizing about. What was it? The Magatrons or the metal detectors. He wanted them taken away. Trump was angry on January 6th that his people couldn't get in with their weapons. Let's see. Elmer Stewart Rhodes. Yeah. And he said they won't hurt me. Let them in. They won't hurt me. They're not after me. Well, who were they after? One-eyed Stewie he has an eye patch because he was teaching a gun safety course and shot himself in the eye. Yeah, I pick up because I tune in and I'm like, I'm not saying anything bad is going to happen. I'm just saying when I think about Trump, he has weapons on his brain. Not for him to use. Not for him to use. I'm not freaking you out. That's not a stretch. Judge Chutkan, the judge should have told Trump to stand back and stand by. He got an 18-year sentence, and the prosecutors want, I forget who it was, that wants Stuart Rhodes to get a longer sentence. They went back. Thank you, Gloria. Yeah, I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you, and it's not a stretch I just see it. I see Trump has weapons on his brain. He said he loves war. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that Trump said that when he was running. Who's making a joke? Old Bone Spurs couldn't hold a weapon if he tried. Yeah, he's not thinking about himself shooting a gun. Anyway, I wasn't asking a specific question. Let me quickly go to a quick commercial break. PsychicAnnetteDion.com is where you go to book a reading. I will be honest, I might do less videos because they're not producing very many readings. And I might have to go out onto the town and just do readings out in the town. PsychicAnnetteDion.com is where you book a reading. And also we have a class coming up called Seriously Psychic. It's a course, it's a 6-week course. You can find that on PsychicAnnetteDion.com also. Grassroots of Democracy, we meet on Thursday nights for a discussion group. And we meet on Saturdays for a work session. We need to be on board with saving democracy. Just take a look at Trump and get scared and join us at Grassroots of Democracy because he's pretty scary. And thank you, Cheryl. Church of Spirituality is every single Sunday at 1 Eastern Time. But back to Grassroots of Democracy, go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com to sign up. If you can't even make any of the meetings, you'll get the notes. And on Tuesdays, we have a guided meditation for a healed America. And that's also at grassrootsofdemocracy.com. You can sign up for that there. And on Sunday, this Sunday, I'm planning to live stream short. It's kind of a festival, and I'm playing a set. And it's going to be at 3:15. I'm scheduled for 3:15 Eastern Time. I'm going to be live streaming right here on my channel. So you can kind of hang out with me and hear some of my songs again. Hopefully the sound quality will be decent. We'll see. It'll be like a half an hour, 45-minute set. So tune in Sunday afternoon for Church of Spirituality, and then after that, you can watch a little concert. Just a short one. All right, I think that's it for right now as far as the commercials. Please hit the thumbs up. Please become a member. You get perks. You get an affirmation in your inbox every single day, and at the 2 higher levels, there's only 3 levels, you get to attend a psychic party at the end of the month, on the last Saturday of the month. So, and thank you for all your donations and your help, and your support, for showing up on a Saturday night, and being so loving and caring about each other. So, what else do you want me to read on? Let's see. I'm going to read on the Democrats. I'm just going to read on the Democrats. And of course, we're all praying for the people in Maui. This is a great community. Thank you for mentioning that, Gloria. And Sharon, I so appreciate you putting my information up. It's so sweet of you. Unsolicited. How are the Democrats doing? Well, interesting. The Democrats, in general, they know what they're up against. They're up against. The Democrats have it all figured out. It's pretty easy to figure out. Yeah, in my little chant, Terry's putting up there, more Democrats running in elections winning. I taught that to somebody today in person. More Democrats, one more time, more Democrats running in elections winning. More Democrats running in elections winning. There's lots of great people in this chat. The Democrats are, this is what they're up against. The fool, a clown show. They're up against a clown show. So this is the fool card once again, talking about the GOP and how the Democrats are, what they're up against. And thanks, Terry, for putting that chant up. And the horned one is the devil. That's what the Democrats are up against. And what's happening is because it's so clear what's bad and not working for the GOP, the Democrats have brand new messaging. And I see a lot of funding behind that brand new messaging. And here's my, upon request, Darren wants me to sing my little democracy song. That was the chant. The song goes like this. We are Americans, we love democracy. We participate in all our governing. We are taking back control of all the rights they stole, 'cause love is stronger than the hateful GOP. And so we win. Anyway, the Democrats' messaging, thank you, Christine, messaging is going to be really strong because they have their messages just cut out for them. Look at what happened. They're hateful, right? Look at what happened. My guides are generous with the songs. You got kicked off the internet? Glad you're back. They have so much material to work with. The Democrats have so much. Look what happened in Ohio. The people have had enough of this insanity. Riding the Biden tsunami. I like that. That's a good one. Woo! The lies aren't working. The lies to the American people aren't working. And I know that we complain about people not, being informed enough or being educated. But let me tell you something. I'm going to read on this right now. Cannabis is on the ballot in Ohio along with women's health rights. Yeah. It's awesome. And they will win. And they will win. That was a big shot in the arm. That was good. Thank you to all of you people that worked on getting a vote out in Ohio. So, all right, let's see. Let's read about the hateful GOP. Sometimes I say the fascist GOP. Let's read on next week. What we can expect next week. I mean, I thought Kathy Beale said it was going to be a little bit more quiet this summer. I guess it's all relative. Because they're not in session right now. The Democrats and the Republicans, they went home for a few weeks. But there certainly is a lot of activity over the next week. The light we will see, the light will shine, the Page of Pentacles, that's definitely a subpoena. I'm seeing a subpoena and an indictment for Trump. Maybe more than one subpoena. Wow. This is the DOJ, just, kind of riding along, just, it's a slog, but they're getting there. But the sun is like, we have some optimism coming. Yes, let's visualize a Democrat running in every single race. It's an organization called Run for Something. Run for something. It will be interesting on the debt ceiling again in September. We can read on that. I'm not sure what part of September is. Is it the beginning of September when they get right back? You want me to read on Melania? I don't even have to pull cards for Melania. I don't think Melania is in the United States. I don't think Melania is in the United States. The sun sanitizes things. Hang on a second. My cards are flipping over. I'm reading on I almost said the debt ceiling. Remember that debacle? They have put us through holy hell, these fascists. I'm telling you what. The government. Are we gonna have a government shutdown? Let's ask that. I don't think Melania is in the United States. I like that quote. You cannot have a discussion with somebody who prefers to use a gun. That's true. Let's see. It's just true. I have had a feeling that Melania has had a boyfriend for the past 5 years. I love that Terry puts a question up, just in case I forget. Will there be a government shutdown in September? No. It's not working for them. Yes, Congress will send more money to Ukraine. I thought that was a given. Was there something? Happy birthday to everybody. Does anyone have a birthday today? Yes, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Sharon. We're winding down. Please book a reading. It inspires me to keep going, and it's a win-win. I think my guides just want me to relax. McCarthy said he's not for the government shutdown. Well, that doesn't matter what McCarthy wants, because he's hostage of the house. Hostage doesn't get what they want. Yeah, all they'll be doing is yelling. Are we heading towards a totalitarian dystopia? No. No, the answer to that question is no, because what's happening is we're waking up to the beauty of our democracy. We took it for granted before. The moon is in Cancer, so people are sensitive. I should be more sensitive. I'm trying. I think that I was, given some hope, wasn't I? I mean, it's not, you know what I mean? Melissa Rizika, hi. Let's do this. Let's pull 3 community cards and then we'll read some tea leaves. Bonnie's birthday is August 27th. She's a Virgo. Oh, you just came on. Oh, yeah, we do 7 to about 8:30 on Eastern time. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But I might have to cut back on one night because I have had so few people book readings that I have to go make some money somehow. I do this because I love you guys, but I also do this to generate business, and it hasn't been working very well. Fire signs need to be more sensitive. Yeah, and then a fire sign will say this. You need to be tougher. Just kidding. You just ordered the IPA? Where did you get it? I mean, I'm kind of hooked on it. It's really good. 3 community cards. This has been the fastest session ever. Probably because I was blabbering on about AI and about greed. We got to talk about AI and greed. Right? It feels better to talk about it. Okay. Can I read for the Taurus? Well, that's what I'm saying. I might cut back on one of my... Because I have Grassroots of Democracy on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. And I see you guys Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if I'm not attracting any business with the videos, I got to do what I got to do. And the people that get readings, they have so many good things to say. But it might be that YouTube is not the place to get readings. I don't know. This is a celebratory... I'm reading 3 cards for the week. This is a celebratory card. This is a Queen of Cups. This is a Chariot. Okay, I think that pretty much spells it out. Fast things coming down. The Chariot's come up a few times. The Queen of Cups, Fanni Willis. I do see Letitia James in here too, kind of behind the scenes. Still working on stuff. And the Three of Cups is a celebration card. We're going to see some wins for democracy. Set a table down by the docks. There's many things I could do. You check the clock and realize I have something scheduled. You know what? Email me AnnetteDion7@gmail.com because there's plenty of room in my schedule. Plenty of room. But that's the thing too, is like I'm with you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays because I love the Psychic News Network. There's another Tuesday coming. But I gotta do something. I can't. My rent's about to go way up because I'm gonna have a much bigger place. Okie dokie. Those are the community cards. It looks good. So let's take a look at the tea leaves. Heavily concentrated in the Venus segment. I think we're gonna hear something about the E. Jean Carroll case or some. I feel like we're gonna see some women coming out against Trump. I think, and we heard about, well, I don't know if you heard about Boris Epstein, one of Trump's lawyers who's in the indictment. He was filmed being inappropriate at a bar with young women. Yeah, I see that we're going to get news about women coming after Trump. So, not just Trump. And then there's a ladle. Hang on. I've seen this symbol before. There's a ladle in the cup, and I just want to tell you what that means. Because it was interesting when I looked it up before. Look at how old this book is. A ladle. Ladle, ladle, ladle. Are you guys doing anything fun this weekend? Tell us what you're doing. The ladle means we will be the one. This message is for me. This message is for me, I think. The ladle simply means that you will be the one who must give some news to someone during the time period indicated. If the ladle is by itself in the teacup, you will be giving news, such as a status report. That's funny. That's about me. And Gloria's relaxing over the weekend. I see a hammer. I see a hammer coming down, and it looks like on the sign of Jupiter. Yeah, Trump's luck is running out. I see a hammer in Jupiter. And actually, that's me. Ladling out the news. Cleaning windows. Oh, do something fun too. So, we'll have a lot of news next week. And it's funny because I was just talking about it. I might have to cut back on my PNNs, and then I see the ladle, which is like, you're the one that's giving the news. The hammer of justice, that makes sense. The hammer's coming down, and not only with the January 6th case and the trial and what's going on with that, but also the rape cases. There are more rape cases against Trump and his cohorts. And Gloria said I'm frozen, and if I'm frozen right now, then I guess it's a good time to say goodnight. Am I frozen? Epstein was found groping 2 women at a bar, and he's pled guilty. Oh, I didn't know he pled guilty. Yeah, interesting. Not frozen. Okay, good. All right, and with that, you're going to 102 on Monday. Stay cool. Stay as cool as you are. Please book a reading so I don't have to cut back on my PNNs. And remember, Seriously Psychic is a series that's going to be 6 Saturdays. That's a lot of alliteration. 6 Saturdays. Seriously Psychic. We teach you how to develop your psychic skills. Me and my guides. And thank you for hanging in there, Electra Storm. I'm glad you came. And Tune in on Sunday for Church of Spirituality and a little concert afterwards at 3:15 my time. Church of Spirituality is at 1 Eastern time. It's free. It's awesome. Thank you for your donations. And I'll see you soon. All right. Namaste. Thanks for all your support and your love, especially for each other. Bye.